So today we're going to be replacing blower motor on a furnace. First thing that you want to do is make sure that the power is cut off to the unit. He's supplying the power into the unit. We'll take the bottom door off. There's normally a switch that the bottom door engages to keep on. Our status LED down here is off, so we know that the power is killed to the unit. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take out the set screws. There's one on this side here, keeping this bracket in. Then there's another one on this side as well. You want to loosen those in order to slide the blower wheel out. So we need to get the blower wheel out. In order to do this, we need to take care of these wires. You can take a picture of each of these wires and where they all go and take them off, and then once you take them off, the wires can be moved out of the way to pull the blower wheel out. In order to get the blower wheel completely out, you want to take note of where the motor wires are going. Here, the motor wires are this orange, black, red, and blue wire. If you look where they are attached, it says that the red and orange wire are attached to park, the blue wire is attached to heat, and the black wire is attached to cool. You'll want to make a note of that or take a picture of it or individually label each wire. And you'll want to do the same over here on the thermostat wire. You got your Y, W, R, G, and common wires. I've taken my motor wires off of the control board, and now what you want to make sure is that all the wires are out of the way so that you can pull the wheel out. Alright, so now we're going to begin taking the motor out, and in order to do this we need to remove the fan wheel from the motor. We'll take this set screw, loosen that, and that will allow our motor to come out. And this should come right out. So now we have our new motor here. We'll be putting this back in place of the old one. Make sure that we insert that in first, and then we line these up with the holes. Go ahead, put these guys back in. So from here, now that we have our motor mounted, you'll want to make sure that the ground screw is put back in. Once you have that put back in, we'll flip our motor up. And this is a very important part. You want to make sure that your fan wheel is aligned with the edges here. You have an edge on this side and then an edge over here. You want to make sure that the rim on both sides of these is equal so that one side isn't pulling on more than the other. So see how there's an equal gap between both sides? That's what you want. Now, with this upright, you want to come over here and tighten your set screw. The reason you want to do it while it's upright is so that the set screw doesn't move on you. Like that. Let's get it nice and tight in there again. So now that we have our set screw tightened, we want to make sure that the fan blade is centered on there. You can see that we have an even gap on this side and the same gap on that side. So now we're going to go ahead and put our motor assembly back in place. There's two metal slots that these go into, and you'll want to look up in there in order to guide these into place. Okay. So we're going to finish getting this put into place. We've got our screws that we got to put back in, but first, to make it easy, we're going to put our control board back on. Alright, now that we have our control board put back in place, we need to make sure that all the wires we disconnected are put back on. We have our motor leads over here. First thing we'll do We'll take our capacitor wires, which are the two brown wires, We'll bring that up here to our capacitor. One goes on one side, to the other side. So now that we have our blower motor back in, we want to make sure that we have our motor wires installed and our thermostat wires installed. First, we want to refer to our picture that we took of our motor wires to see where the wires go. We know that our red and orange wire go to park, our blue goes to heat, and then our black goes to cool. So we'll go ahead, put the red on park, the orange on park as well. Then we'll take our blue wire, which goes on the heat terminal, and then our black wire goes on the cooling terminal. Once those are secured, you'll want to take a note of your picture of your thermostat wire to make sure that they're all in the correct place. If you misplace one of those, your system will perform incorrectly. So now that we have our motor installed, you want to make sure that all your wires are nice and tight and together. You want to make sure that they're out of the way of the door so that when you put it on, none of these wires are going to be getting hit. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and test this unit and see if it's within the range and go from there.